Today, I have with me the most influential and illustrious man in Indian advertising. He is a man who literally needs no introduction. However, I'm going to take this liberty of calling him the Adman of the century. From a trainee account executive to the executive chairman today, the story of this gentleman is a bag full of excitement, accolades, achievements, and much more. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome Mr. Piyush Pandey, Chairman Global Creative and Executive Chairman India at Ogilvy. I welcome you, sir.
Good morning, Soumya. Lovely to talk to you. Don't put me on a pedestal. I would like to be on this boom, head to head with you. So, yes, all yours.
Okay, sir. So the questions today, of course, come from an industry lens, but also out of my own inquisitiveness. Now that I've told you that I share a history with Ogilvy, so I do have some questions that I personally want to ask you. I hope you're all geared up.
Always, there's Ogilvy running in my blood for 39 years, so don't worry about it.
Okay, sir. So let me begin with today's question. Sir, it wouldn't be wrong to say that you witnessed the different eras of advertising, and there's so much that may have changed in the past decades. What, according to you, are the three fundamental changes in advertising, according to you?
See, putting a 3 is a difficult thing in a long career, but the ones that made a significant difference, one was when we got color TV after Asiad in 1982, suddenly brands were reaching people's homes. Some tonal change had to come from newspapers and things like this. Now you're in their homes where they're sitting with their families.
Yeah.
So that TV boom was number one big thing.
Right.
And then post-liberalization, when independent channels came in, suddenly the width of television and programming increased many folds. So that was second significant thing. And in advertising as such, during these two periods, the tone of advertising was changing from giving information to trying to engage people. So advertising itself became a little more interesting, from singing songs and jingles with brand name 10 times to having a bit of a storyline.
Right.
And the third change is what you are seeing right now, which is the digital explosion. And so you'll see that these are the three big changes that I would see in this era.
Right. So, sir, from a tea taster in Rajasthan to somebody who's tasted all flavors of the Indian consumer, what are your observations in terms of their changed habits, preferences, and behaviors over the years?
See, it's not just, it's all flavors actually began very early in my life. I was in a large family, 7 sisters and 2 brothers, and my parents were a cricket team. And that's a level. And then I played a lot of cricket. And I traveled a lot with my father in his rural visits. By cricket, I traveled India quite a bit by trains. So the learning process and seeing the flavors had begun without my ever realizing as to where will it come to use in my life. I was just enjoying it.
Right.
And tea tasting was a first job. No great career planning in that. We were just 2 friends, me and Arun Lal went and played for India. We had decided one day, wherever we work, we'll work together. We had no idea as to where we are going to work. But he got a job in a tea company, and then when I finished my MA, he passed on my CV. I also got a job, so we were working together. We had achieved one goal, which was without any definite plan. And then in Calcutta, I met a few people who were in advertising, and again, the same friends, Arun Lal and his wife said, this what they do seems interesting. This is what your nature is to observe things, make statements. Why don't you give it a shot? So I gave up my job in Calcutta and came and looked for a job in Mumbai. because that's where it was practiced best. And started from scratch. Within 3-4 months, I got a job with Ogilvy. And that's where I am. There are no great plans. Things happened.
So are you really a tea person today or a coffee person? I'm asking this for the next time that we meet.
Right. I am a tea person from 6 in the morning.
Correct. Okay, sir, coming to my next question. With the pandemic in play, have you seen any significant shift in the overall client-agency relationship?
I think they've become stronger. It is my belief that when in trouble, people understand each other better. People depend on each other more. People have the opportunity of helping each other out of the way. So I think it is only in adversity lies opportunity. And in adverse moments, bonds are strengthened. You'll see it in life. It's not just client-agency relationship. When you're all caught in a shelter with the floods around you, people help each other. You've seen it when we have calamities in every year. Some city gets flooded. Someone has another problem. People help out, sharing water, sharing biscuits. So adversity should be taken as a way of life, which will come once in a while, but it is the greatest opportunity to bond with each other, to understand each other, to be empathetic towards each other. So yes, in this adversity, also, I think many relationships got stronger and people stretch themselves, both clients and agencies, to try and keep afloat and breathing properly. I think I don't wish it to anyone, but I do wish to everyone, whenever these things happen, take them in your stride and say, we're all in it together.
Correct. So while I do agree with this notion, but we've also observed that in crisis situations, the ad spend is one of the areas that, primarily get affected. So does this translate the ad industry as luxury and not essential?
No, how can it be luxury? It was a lot of essentials. How can you call it luxury at all? And ad spends will go down if somebody is not being able to reach his markets. Somebody is not being able to distribute their products because people are not stepping out. Then that somebody is suffering. And you're that somebody's partner. And you cannot say that's his problem.
No.
He's your partner. How can it be his problem or our problem? So, and it was not luxury. See how many people, a whole lot of essentials, people found a way of reaching you. So it was not a time of luxury. If you look at numbers also, consumer marketing numbers on things that people needed, they didn't go down drastically. They went down, particularly for a period when there was a national lockdown. Yes, it's almost like when the markets are closed, what do you do at home? The parallels are at home only.
True.
If there's so much of wheat flour, you share that wheat flour in your rotis till the next one comes. So we need to adjust and adapt. And drawing a parallel from cricket, if it's rain, the wicket is bad, then you have to change your game and play accordingly till the wicket gets okay and dries up. So this is very, very, no parallel is a better parallel than your own home. How you handle adversity is the way you work with your clients. Your clients become your extended family.
True. So, while we do witness some super works coming from India, there's still a bunch of naysayers of Indian advertising and, the kind of work that agencies produce. Where do you see the Indian work stand on a global platform today?
See, there are two ways of looking at it. One is, where does the work stand on Indian platform? That is what you're paid for. I think our work is very good. And at the global platform also, Indian work is looked at with respect, with expectation. Are Indian movies looked at with respect? Yes. They may not be winning Oscars because that's a different forum. So I'm very proud of the way India has grown in advertising terms. We're late starters, remember, as compared to the West. And but are we very relevant to our people? We're extremely relevant to our people. I'm not talking about 100% of the work. 100% of anything is impossible. It's not there in the West. It's not there anywhere.
Correct.
But generally, do people like advertising? They do love advertising, and people are not stupid. They kind of love the same advertising that you and I love.
True. So from my own observation, I've seen plenty of hard-hitting jargons and slogans during my earlier times, perhaps when I was a child. But there are a very few campaigns that, go on to make a mark today. So in fact, there has been an increased reliance on the celebrities and endorsements in that sense. Do you feel that there is a dearth of creative minds here, or is there some other factor behind it?
No, there are 2-3 things that we must always remember. That don't get carried away by slogans. Mm-hmm. Slogans are given meaning, they become memorable slogans. Let's just take a very simple thing like just do it.
Correct.
Just do it. They gave a meaning to just do it. Therefore, just do it became famous. So correct. It's not writing clever slogans that makes advertising great. I don't think that there's any great excitement in a title called Sholay. It's the film Sholay that made Sholay famous. So always remember that. And what was the second part of your question?
Is there a dearth of creative minds? Or
No. There is no dearth of creative minds and celebrities you asked me about.
Yeah.
I have always believed, and I've said it in public forums also, that a celebrity is not an idea. So don't be lazy when you have a celebrity who's been signed on by a client or you yourself recommended the celebrity. Ask yourself, why am I recommending a celebrity? Do I have a story? Do I have a story where the celebrity adds value? These are questions not for the celebrities. These are questions for yourselves. And otherwise, like I wrote in my book, that do you want to be a flea in the tail of a winning racehorse? That is, the celebrity gets famous and you are not remembered because you didn't have an idea.
Correct.
So use celebrities, use them for a purpose. Now look at it. Even the biggest of celebrities, and in my mind, there is no bigger celebrity than Mr. Bachchan. You gave Mr. Bachchan a great script, he made it fly. You gave him an average script, he made it better than average. You gave him a poor script, he couldn't do a thing.
Correct.
So it's you. You have to do the hard work. You have to then see, do you need a celebrity? Or don't you need a celebrity? But having a celebrity is as good as having Katie Mirza in a booth shop in the 70s with a poster of us. What did she have to do with that item that she was selling? Zero.
Nothing.
And that is lazy.
Okay. So I'm very intrigued to know that is there anything that you still feel that you haven't achieved in terms of your professional goals, or perhaps something that is yet to challenge your creative capabilities?
I don't work on goals. Okay. I get up every morning and ask myself. So let's see what needs my input. Let's see what idea I have which may be shared with my team or with my clients. It may not have been asked for. So proactive thinking at times. The only disciplined thing, it's a habit, not even a discipline, which I do is the last day of the year, I take a 1 hour me time of my family or friends, that's my time to say, इस साल कुछ किया कि नहीं किया? And if the answer is yes, you did something, then I sleep well and get up the next morning and say, that match is over. Today you're batting again on 0. You start again.
Correct. Sir, the next question actually comes from somebody who's close in my family, that the gentleman runs a privately owned ad agency, and he wanted to really ask you this question. So, sir, since 2019, the central government has drastically reduced ad spends on print and electronic media. And because of the pandemic, advertisers have further cut down on their budget. How do you see the near future survival and growth for small scale agencies as well as the media as an industry in this regard?
See, again, central government didn't have a plan that we will kill advertising. Central government had its own problems. Like all of us had our own problems. So budgets were cut by people to try and focus on things that they wanted to. So to your friend, I just have to say that prepare a little better, keep something for a rainy day, always, like we do. Don't we do it at home?
Correct.
So that in a period of exigency or adversity, you know that I can last out for 6 months, hope for the things to get better. I'm ready to move. I'm not crippled by it. I think that's human spirit.
Very well said, sir.
I'm saying ups and downs only. Lots of new funded companies have come, startups have come. So maybe your friend should try and see what we can do. How can you? It's all a question of what value can I add to somebody, and don't worry about the government spend was cut, so I'm helpless. There are so many opportunities. Try and identify and get that 100 somewhere, and your scorecard will keep moving.
Very well said, sir. So, sir, this takes me to the last question for today, which you will, of course, guess is coming out of my own observation. Sir, the culture of an ad agency only attracts a handful. People are, still anxious or apprehensive of the many opinions that are attached to it, say, late work hours, too much of an exposed culture, work pressure. How do you look at it, and how have you really eliminated such fears?
An ad agency doesn't ask you that you will work till 12. It is your thing of saying that what needs my time. When we are not the only ones to have this thing. Look at the bankers, young bankers, they work very hard. So it's up to you. You, as long as you are passionate about your work, you will find the time to do other things, which you must. I think if you can't lead a happy life, then you actually lose out. Everything is a balance of what we learn outside our place of work, what we learn in our family, with our friends. With a rich country like India, I always tell people try and travel by train, so you get to see India. Otherwise, the clouds are the same everywhere. So,
correct.
So basically, it's not that 100% of people work those late hours. It is some people manage their time. We don't hold it against them. A whole lot of people up the office goes in buses to their trains or whatever places they leave from on a precise time. And others who have work to do, they hang around. To believe that ad agencies work you hard a whole lot of it is out of passion. Nobody asked me to write scripts at 2 o'clock at night. But something is going on in my head, I'll write. So it's completely up to you. You can take your breaks, but plan your things a little better. And sometimes be ready to compromise or sacrifice something. It happens in life. You might plan a holiday. And unfortunately, some member of your family may be unwell, who fell ill 2 days before you left. What do? Don't you cancel your programs, cancel your bookings, and reschedule sometime. Similarly, things can happen. There have been a number of times when a lot of us have been on our holidays and a crisis came up. So we landed up. Somebody needs you, and that's within you. You can always say, no, I can't come. But you never want to let the team down.
True. Right, sir. This was all for today. I am absolutely smitten by all your answers, and thank you so much for taking out time, sir. I do have a lot of takeaways from this interview, and thanks again.
Yeah. You just be yourself.
Yeah.
Be unafraid. Be a little open-minded that every ball cannot be hit for a 6.
Yeah.
Hit as many as you can and block some of them when you have to. That's the way of playing a long inning.
I know exactly what you mean.
So I wish you a long inning and a happy inning. You come back from work with a swagger and not with your head down.
Absolutely.
So walk tall. Okay.